matter, who has argued for him in the case. Let's speak to him a little bit and let's also find out. Sir, can you tell us a little bit about what the government's stand in this entire case was, and now how it affects not only Aadhaar but also other cases that deal with right to privacy?
You should look at this whole litigation in its context. Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar had mounted a challenge to the Aadhaar architecture and not to the scheme itself, on the ground that the Aadhaar architecture erodes the fundamental right to privacy of a citizen. At that point of time in 2015, the central government raised an issue saying that privacy is not a fundamental right and therefore your challenge is not correct. And that question which arose on privacy being a fundamental right or not was referred to a larger bench, and ultimately a 9-judge bench, a constitution bench of 9 judges of the Honorable Supreme Court was constituted. And the precise question that is considered is whether privacy is a fundamental right. Today is a watershed day. It's a watershed moment for not just constitutional lawyers or constitutionalists, but I think for every citizen and for the petitioner and Mr. Chandrasekhar himself, is that this Honorable Supreme Court has very clearly in unequivocal terms declared that privacy is a fundamental right. Privacy as a fundamental right is a part of the right to life and liberty itself under Article 21, and it is a part of other fundamental rights in Part 3 of the Constitution. Therefore, with this rendition and declaration that privacy is a fundamental right, not just Aadhaar, every governmental scheme will have to be tested on the touchstone of that privacy being a fundamental right. Therefore, it does not mean, and we should be very clear, that privacy being a fundamental right does not mean that it is an absolute right. It is not. All fundamental rights do have reasonable restrictions, and therefore privacy also can have reasonable restrictions vis-a-vis compelling state interest to collect your information, etc. But the question is, if they collect your information, they should use it only for that particular purpose. If they collect it in a particular silo, they use it in that silo and not in another. If they collect it for a particular period of time, they use it for that period of time and not others. They don't collect little bits of information over a period of time and then profile you and then conduct surveillance on you. Now, these are limitations on the state which are automatically imposed by privacy being declared as a fundamental right. And today is a great day, I think, for every citizen that privacy is declared as a fundamental right.